Hi guys, how you guys doing? Today I'm going to answer two questions, and these are the two most requested questions that I had gotten in the last few weeks. Um, how to play the tongue drums with your fingers or with your hand, and why do I play these drums? Why do I prefer to play these drums with my hands, fingers, rather than mallet? So these are the mallets that usually comes when you buy a tongue a tongue drum from Amazon or Alibaba or most places. What I call it the generic mass-produced tongue drums. The good thing about these mallets is that it gives a very loud sound, a very loud resonance. But they have different type of mallets on the market that you can actually purchase. I don't remember where I got most of my mallets from. The one that usually that you're gonna get from the purchase of your drums are the one with a rubber mallet or a rubber top, a round rubber top. And this is one of them. I forgot what drum that this came with, or I may have purchased it separately. This is basically it's the same thing. I think it's a rubber ball inside, and it's covered with some sort of fabric. Looks like canvas. It's still loud, but it has a softness to it, I guess because of the fabric that is covering this mallets here. And this one here, this is a really interesting one. This is a very soft mallet. It feels like there's something inside, but it's covered by wool, a very thick wool covering over the mallet, or the feels like plastic mallet, but a very small plastic mallet, and it's very light, and it has a very soft, gentle feel to it. And these are the heavier mallets. This is the one that I don't even remember where I got this from. I think it's probably for one of my gongs, but I did use it a few times with my RAF and with my other drums here. This might be good for people who have problems holding the small or mini mallets. So this is actually about, I would say about 14-15 inches, and has a very solid, again, it feels like a rubber mallet inside, a rubber tip, and then covered, like really thickly covered within wool. So this will give you a very decent sound, and again, it's good for people who have problems holding the mini sticks. Now we're going to the tongue drum. So this is one of this is a 11 notes 12-inch, one of the basic drums that you can buy from Amazon. So how do I play it with my hands or with my fingers? Pretend that this is a hot stove, a very, very hot stove. So what you want to do, you want to use your fingers as an extension of your hand. Don't put any pressure on your fingers. Keep it soft. Just let your wrist do all the work. Basically, kind of like shaking it off, and when you tap the hot stove, you want to just tap it and then lift, pull away. Okay, most people when they first or initially start playing these drums, they tend to go like this. Okay, the problem that I'm seeing here is that they are trying to play as in using pressure on your fingers. Your fingers, just pretend that your fingers are the drumsticks or a pencil, the one that you just wiggle it without really hitting it with pressure. See, when you hit it like this, most people would stay like a few milliseconds before pulling away because like playing a drum, an actual drum, an acoustic drum set, you tend to hit the skin to make the sound. But on the tongue drum, you want to just touch it or slap it and then pull away like this. Okay, I'm gonna start with my thumb. You can play it with your thumb, or you can play it with your point fingers. On most tongue drums, the bigger notes are the easiest to play or the easiest to make sounds. The smaller notes are usually the hardest because the tongue on the tongue drum has to vibrate for it to make sounds. So the quicker you strike it or you hit it and release it, the quicker or the easier for the tongue to vibrate, and the vibration is what makes the sound. So again, I'm going to play it with my point fingers. And now I'm going to play in a combination of my point fingers and my thumb. Well, this is one of the reason why I like to play the tongue drum with my hands, or my fingers, because it feels a little bit more intimate and it gives me more control over the sounds, like this. It's easier for me to control the velocity or the tonal or the volume of the sounds using the velocity from my fingers. The hot, how hard you strike the tongue. one of the trick that I use also is that I do use my fingernails just to give it a little bit of accent sounds, like this. So thumb, point fingers, and nails. So this is, again, this is a one of the drums that I got from Amazon. So we're gonna go to the next one, which is this one right here. This is the Astiman. No, it's not Astiman. No, this is Hiluru. Hluru. This is one of the most common one too that you can find is on Amazon. So this is a 13 notes. Yeah, this is a 13 notes, and this is copper. So it's gonna sound like this. I'm playing with my thumb right now. So what I just did, I did a combination of thumb and my point fingers. Okay, but I just played all the, what I call it, the bigger tongues. Now, how do you play the smaller tongues here? Same thing. On this drum here, you may have to do it a little bit faster. Fingernails. And on a drum like this, to give it a little bit of accent, you can use your knuckle. So there's no right way or there's no wrong way of playing these drums right here. To play it with your hands or with your fingers, just pretend that this is a hot stove. And you know, there are so many different techniques that you can apply. As I showed before earlier, fingernails, your knuckles. There are so many things, and one thing that once in a while that I do like to use is basically plucking. Yeah, so this is the, I think it's a 14-inch Hiluru drum from Amazon. This is one of my first few drums. I still use this when I teach classes especially kids. This is very, very sturdy. I had them bang on these drums, really, you're talking about 4, 5, 6 years old that will hold a mallet and pound on it like it's a hammer. And this still is still in tune. So like I said, with smaller drums, it can be done. You can play this with your hands or with your fingers. Of course, the bigger the drums, the easier to play them with your hands or fingers. So this is the odd quaint. This is the G. Is it the G pick me? Yeah, I think this is the G pick me right here. So anyway, so that's the quick review or answer on how. I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by my daughter. My wild 8 years old just took her dogs and her cats downstairs and kept on looking at me and asking me, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." I said, "Okay, here we go." Anyway, well, thank you for watching, and I hope that this help you. This help answer some of the questions. How do I play the tongue drum with my hands, and why do I play, or why should you play the tongue drums with your hands? Well, guys, have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.